Two by two, guys.
My butt back.
What's your nine?
First time I've been sick for this.
Yeah, no, I've been for quite a few.
I like this better than standing with my bike on the front. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Chief Sable, and the members of the Honor Guard. Would you now please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance and remain standing for a blessing of our faith. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'd now like to welcome Curtis Neal, Senior Manager of UPMC Pre-Hospital Care, to provide a blessing.
Good morning. Heavenly Father, we gather here today, remember with gratitude and love those who answered the call to serve in EMS. They face regular uncertainty and many times danger for the sake of others, offering comfort and care in times of crisis. We pray that their memories will be cherished with joy and love. Bless the souls of all who have died to save others, and may their legacy of service live on. Lord, watch over all who devote themselves to helping others. Grant them courage when they are afraid, wisdom when they must make quick decisions, and compassion in all their work. Please be present with us today as we honor our fallen colleagues. We pray for your unending protection for all first responders. Unite them safely with their families at the end of every shift, and bring them peace and serenity. Amen.
Thank you, Curtis. Would everyone please be seated? I'd like to once again welcome you all and thank you for attending what is our 15th annual Pennsylvania EMS Memorial Service. We appreciate everyone's presence and the time and resources you spend to help honor our Pennsylvania EMS providers who have lost their lives in the line of duty. Since the inception of modern-day EMS in the Commonwealth, I am Doug Gerritsen and have the honor and privilege of being the chair of the Pennsylvania EMS Provider Foundation, and this service is presented today by the Foundation in partnership with the Bureau of Emergency Medical Services in the Department of Health. As you may notice, I am wearing cycling gear, as are many of my colleagues. I would like to acknowledge the 60 cyclists and support team who participated in our 10th annual Pennsylvania EMS Memorial Bike Ride. Starting Saturday morning in Erie, we traversed different parts of the Commonwealth, bringing attention to our fallen colleagues. Our final leg of this 3-day journey brings us here to the city of Pittsburgh for this solemn memorial service. In addition to today's speakers, there are other legislators or individuals that I would like to recognize. And actually, I just realized the last one of those will gently speak, so briefly speak, so I'll leave that be. Anthony Martin is the director of the Bureau of Emergency Medical Services in the Pennsylvania Department of Health. Director Martin came to the department from Tower Direct, the transfer center and patient placement entity for Tower Health. As a senior director, he managed an EMS agency responding to nearly 40,000 requests for service annually. He has been a paramedic for more than 20 years and is passionate about excellence in clinical care, quality education, and the well-being of EMS providers. Director Martin, if you please come forward.
Thank you, Doug. It is an honor to be here. It's an honor to spend this beautiful morning with the cyclists and support team riding through just a beautiful city of Pittsburgh. The thought that I had this morning as we were riding is, in a little bit, we're going to hear a long list of names of our colleagues, our mentors, our friends who have died in the line of duty. Each one of those names comes with a story. And I think it's probably safe to say that every name here has someone connected to it that knows at least a piece of that story. Part of our story is honoring them, remembering them, and carrying on a legacy of compassionate care for our communities and working to see a sustainable future for EMS, and in a way to ensure that our communities have the first responder care that they depend on when they call 911. Several of those names on there are very dear friends to me. I've been at some of the funerals. I've sat with some of the family members as they were dying from COVID. And it always grips my heart. I am so thankful today that we don't just remember them, but that we celebrate their lives. We celebrate the service that they gave. And I hope each one of you here will reflect and commit to provide that same service to your community for as long as you are able. Thank you for riding, thank you for being here, and thank you for your service to your community.
Thank you, Director Martin. Emily Kincaid is a representative of Pennsylvania's 20th House District. She serves on the House Appropriations, Judiciary, Labor and Industry, Human Services, and Agricultural and Rural Affairs Committees. Born and raised in Western Pennsylvania, Representative Kincaid is a staunch believer that government's calling is to do the most good for the most people. She has championed policies that help working families and raise up communities, such as criminal justice reform, addressing food insecurity, affordable housing, living wages, worker protection, health care, LGBTQIA+ equality, reproductive justice, and adequately funding education. Representative Kincaid is a regional favorite of public safety personnel, a dedicated supporter of us in emergency medical services, and the daughter of a former City of Pittsburgh paramedic. Please welcome to this lectern Representative Kincaid, Sheriff of New York.
Thank you. Thank you all for being here. One of the things that I love most about representing Pittsburgh and this area, especially when we're talking about EMS, is this is truly the birthplace of EMS. This is where modern emergency medical services was founded at Freedom House, out of a recognition that everyone deserves to have medical care in their time of need. And we have grown that legacy in Pennsylvania and across not just the nation, but the world. That came from Freedom House, that came from Pittsburgh, and I'm incredibly proud of that legacy. And there are so many people who, in the history of emergency medical services, have taken up the calling to run into places that the rest of us are running out of, to serve the communities in this way. My parents actually met running ambulance for the city of Pittsburgh. My dad was a paramedic for the city, and they actually helped to start the Richland EMS service. So certainly if I'm not supportive of EMS services, I don't get to come home for Christmas. But it is always just a humbling experience to talk to people about those who serve in emergency medical services as first responders, because there are those of us who serve the public, and there are those who serve really truly the community at every level. And our emergency medical services are incredible in that capacity. The ability to take on a crisis and be calm and help people in ways that most of us would not have the capacity to do. Most of us rely on. We want somebody on the other end of the line when we call for help who can take us to a better place and a better situation. And so the people who sacrifice their lives in pursuit of trying to help people really must hold a special place in our heart. And I am humbled by the fact that so many of you have ridden your bikes from all across Pennsylvania to honor the people who have done that here in Pennsylvania. It is a real testament to the fact that the EMS community is truly a community, and that each and every one of you cares in a way that just is transformative for our communities, for our Commonwealth. And I will never not appreciate that that's my roots. That's where I come from. The people that I come from you. And I'd like to believe that the values that I have, the reason that I do the work that I do, the way that I do the work that I do, is because of the legacy of EMS and the people who are here today and the people that we have lost in the line of duty. I've been recently rewatching the show, The Flash, and it struck me as I was watching it and thinking about this event that we hold up people with superpowers, heroes, and you know, it's incredible to watch this one person save all of these people and make such a huge difference in their community. And it really made me realize that we don't recognize the average heroes nearly to that degree. The people who, without any kind of special ability other than training to serve the community and a desire to serve the community, will put themselves into harm's way in order to help. And that is an incredible superpower. And the fact that people are willing to lay down their lives in service of others is truly humbling, and something that I am grateful that this is the 15th year that they are being honored and recognized, and I hope that this continues for many years to come, and I hope to at least be a part, even if it is just, sitting and observing in the background, because what you guys do and what those that we have lost have done is just cannot be overstated, cannot be oversold. It's incredible, and I am just humbled to be here and be a part of it, and say thank you to all of you and to all of the people who are not able to be with us, but who we honor today. Thank you.
Thank you, Representative Kincaid. Dr. Arvind Venkat is the representative of Pennsylvania's 30th House District. Representative Venkat is a fighter for accessible and affordable health care, investing in our first responders, protecting reproductive rights, curbing gun violence, expanding access to the ballot box for all voters, and getting more people back into the workforce. Dr. Venkat is the first Indian American to be elected to the State House and the first physician to serve in the General Assembly in nearly 60 years. Affiliated with the Allegheny Health Network, he has also served as a member of the board of the McCandless-Franklin Park Ambulance Authority and is a former president of the Pennsylvania chapter of the American College of Emergency Physicians. We welcome Representative Venkat to the lectern for a few remarks.
Good morning. It's truly an honor to be here. As Doug mentioned, I'm an emergency physician and have had the privilege of working with EMS my entire professional life. I remember when I started as an emergency medicine resident in 2000 in Cincinnati, and part of our responsibility was to go on the helicopter and go on the back of ambulances. And it reinforced to me my choice to be an emergency physician because, frankly, I do not have the skills that you do to do all the amazing things in a pre-hospital setting with limited resources and in different environments that I take for granted, frankly, in my practice as an emergency physician. The amazing work that paramedics and EMTs and first responders do really makes a difference in terms of life and death in our communities. And now that I have the privilege to serve as a state representative, I get to see how important it is that we recognize, like we are today, the sacrifices of first responders, and to recognize that it's our obligation to make sure that those who have given the ultimate sacrifice in helping others are remembered and are cherished in our hearts, and that we as policymakers make sure that we have your back. And I want to give a special shout out today to the EMS leaders from the parts of the community that I have the privilege of representing: McCandless-Franklin Park Ambulance Authority, Sheeler Hampton EMS, Ross West PA EMS, and many others. I'll close by a quote that struck me this morning from President Lincoln from his Gettysburg Address, which I think is apt for today. In the Gettysburg Address, President Lincoln said that people will little know nor long remember what we said here, but we cannot remember what they did here when referring to the Union soldiers who saved our nation at the Battle of Gettysburg. And I think that the sacrifices that first responders and EMS make on a daily basis, including the ultimate sacrifice that we are remembering today, is one that we can never forget, and that I certainly hold close to my heart in my role as an emergency physician and as a legislator now. Most importantly, as a husband and a father in the community of McCandless, who knows that if I were to pick up the phone and call 911, that EMS would be there on behalf of me and my family, and that we need to stand with them. So thank you again for the privilege and opportunity to be here today. Please know that you are, in my heart, share the remarks of Representative Kincaid, and that even though we are here remembering today, this is not a one-off, and that I and others will continue to remember and make sure that we can push forward with what you need to continue to be there for all who require that on a day-to-day basis. So thank you.
Thank you, Representative Lincoln. Matt Savatsky is an internationally recognized EMS mobile healthcare consultant with PWWAG, the advisory group of the law firm of Page, Wolfberg, and Worth. In his role, Mr. Savatsky focuses on assisting local communities, EMS agencies, fire departments, ambulance services, hospitals, and other healthcare organizations in evaluating and improving their EMS and mobile healthcare delivery systems. Matt is an emergency medical technician with a master's degree in healthcare administration. He is the past president of the National Association of Emergency Medical Technicians and the executive director for the Academy of International Mobile Healthcare Integration. I'd like to welcome Matt Savatsky to the lectern for a few remarks.
I promise not to move your notes. Did that last night, got chastised. Good morning. Today we come together to not only remember, but to honor with deep gratitude. To honor 82 men and women of Pennsylvania's emergency medical services systems who have made the ultimate sacrifice in the line of duty. EMS professionals live by a calling that is unique in its demands, based on the number of uniforms in this room. I know you understand that. They respond to the unknown, often in the most dangerous and chaotic of circumstances. They rush toward scenes where others flee, bringing calm to crisis, care for the injured, and hope for the desperate. And they do this without hesitation, even knowing the risks to their own lives, because they believe in something bigger than themselves, the profound duty to alleviate pain and suffering and preserve life. Today we pause to remember those 82 dedicated Pennsylvania community servants who gave their lives answering that call. But their service did not end in a hospital, on a roadway, or even on the scene of a call. Their service and dedication endures in the lives they saved, the families they comforted, and the communities they strengthened. Their loss is not measured in statistics or headlines. It is felt in empty chairs at family tables, in partners who will no longer hear a familiar voice on the radio, and in communities missing a steadfast servant. To the families who bear that weight every day, we extend not only our sympathy, but our thanks and our gratitude. And most importantly, a promise. A promise that your loved ones' sacrifice will never be forgotten, and their legacy will continue in the hearts of every EMT, paramedic, and first responder who carries on their mission. As we reflect, let us also take inspiration. The courage of these fallen EMS professionals reminds us of the values that we must uphold: compassion, resilience, and selfless service. Each time the siren sounds, their spirit should ride with us. Every time care is given, their hands should be present in ours. So let us honor them not only with words, but with action. renewed commitment to support those who will still serve, to protect them as they respond, and to recognize the extraordinary weight of their loss, one that we all carry every day. May the memory of these 82 selfless EMS professionals be a blessing. May their service be a guiding light, and may we together ensure that their sacrifice was not in vain. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Zavetsky. I'd like to ask Becky Boyle, Communications Director for Senator Lindsey William, to come forward if she would, please.
Hi, I'm Becky Boyle. I'm the Communications Director for Senator Williams. She's sorry she couldn't be here today. They were called into session in Harrisburg. Senator Williams, when she was first elected, her first committee assigned that she was the chair of the Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness Committee. This was immediately post the Commission SR6 report being issued on the volunteer fire and EMS agencies and the crisis that y'all are facing in Pennsylvania and across the country. And the Veterans Affairs and Emergency Preparedness Committee is the only committee that she has kept for 7 years, because she's recognized the importance of that work, your work. And it's left a lasting impact on her and everyone in our office, because the critical work that you do is essential to all of our communities and making sure that our communities continue to run. To quote the mission of our Taylor Hampton EMS, on your worst day, you will be at our best. And that is a cost. Readiness has a cost, and that's on us in Harrisburg. So we believe that to honor the sacrifices and we need to meet that cost of readiness. Senator Williams has really worked to create dedicated funding streams and grant opportunities, but we know that you need predictable, stable funding in order to do the work that you do, and that's one of the things that she is committed to doing. But we are incredibly grateful for the work that you all do to serve the community, whether that's responding to calls, working local events, or the myriad other ways that you serve. We're especially thankful to our in-district agencies who have given generously of your time to talk through legislation and explain your needs and to partner with us in events. And we want to recognize those who have been lost during the line of duty, and those who have been lost from your stations and the families, such as Foxborough Chief Tony Kakuda, who passed in 2023. Thank you all for everything that you do every day to serve our communities, and we hope to continue to serve you in ways that we can in Harrisburg and in our district every day. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Moore. In 1998, the United States Congress, through concurrent resolutions of the Senate and the House of Representatives, designated the National EMS Memorial Service to be held annually as the official EMS Memorial of the United States. The purpose of the National EMS Memorial Service is to honor those emergency medical personnel who have died in the line of duty and to recognize their ultimate sacrifice that they made to their fellow man. This, as we know, is our 15th year of holding a Pennsylvania EMS Memorial Service where all the names today are specific to our state. EMS does not have a memorial garden or a location to designate those who we have lost. Today we honor the following EMS providers who have lost their lives in the line of duty in service to the residents of this Commonwealth. At this time, I'd like to ask Brian Shaw, Executive Director of EMS West, to please assemble the presenters for the reading of the names. I'd also ask everyone in attendance to please rise and remove your hand.
Samantha Agins, Camp JC, Stroudsburg. Ethan Amsbaugh, Priority Volunteer Response Ambulance, Mount Union. Robert Ashby, Christian Ambulance, Gap. Brenda Bauer, City of Reading Fire, Reading. Andrew Beck, Kecksburg VFW Rescue Squad, Kecksburg. Brad Blackman, PA EMS Memorial Bike Rider, American Medical Response, Philadelphia. David J. Lawson, Wilkins Churchill, Rescue 1, Wilkins. Walter L. Ricker, Middle Township Fire and Ambulance Company, Fanningsburg. John Buckner, City of Scranton Fire Ambulance, Scranton.
Gilbert Burke, St. Mary's Ambulance Service, St. Mary's. Kevin Bundy, Mercy Fitzgerald EMS, Darby. Jeanette N. Chris, University Medevac, Lehigh Valley Hospital, Allentown. Kelly A. Conti, Critical Care Diversified Enterprises, West Mifflin. John Denkowski, Lackawanna Ambulance Service, Scranton. Klein Dwyer, Susquehanna Health System EMS Department, Williamsport. Bruce H. Titlow, St. Joseph Hospital, Lancaster. Theodore Dibus, Veterans Ambulance Service, North Cambria. Douglas Sabinsky, UPMC Pinnacle Health, Community Life Team, York.
Kevin A. Ellison, Medic Rescue Ambulance Service, Beaver Falls. Jeremy Emmerich, Lehigh Valley Medevac. Thomas Evans, Newtown Ambulance Squad and Warrington Community Ambulance. Donald J. Felker, Collingdale Fire Company Number 1, Collingdale. Dale C. Francis, Lifestar Ambulance Corps, Quakertown. William Frazier, Mountaintop Ambulance, Mountaintop. Michael Oz Darvin, Second Alarmers Association and Rescue Squad, Willow Grove. Gregory Scott Gelsinger, Tower Direct, Wyomissing. John M. Goodwin, Guthrie 1 Helicopter, Sayre.
Thomas Bruin, Tunkhannock Community Ambulance Association, Tunkhannock. Richard A. Hartley, Derry Township Fire Police, Lewistown. Mark W. Hostler, Guthrie 1 Helicopter, Sayre. Ed Hayes, Cottage Rescue and EMS, Carbondale. Thomas Hicks, Citizens Volunteer Fire Company, New York. Wesley Hostetter, Black Tuscarora EMS, West East Waterford. Robert W. Justice, St. Luke's Transport Service, Taylorsville. Daniel E. Keller, Fayette EMS, Collinsville. Robert Kohler Sr., Northeastern Area EMS, York.
Sean M. Kramer, Hamburg Ambulance Service, West Lawn, Hamburg. James S. Landis, University Medevac, Lehigh Valley Hospital, Allentown. Roger Lather, Big Elm Volunteer Fire Department, Millerton. John F. Pajico, Parksburg Ambulance Fire Company, Parksburg. Michael Lesser, Royersdale Fire Department, Friendship Ambulance, Janice Keene, Livingston, West End Ambulance, Johnstown. Kevin Mafferton, Bucks County, Morrisville, Leventon. Fred Manna, North Huntington EMS and Rescue, Greensburg. Nelson Martin, Bethel Ambulance, Bethel.
Herbert W. McKay, American Medical Response, Philadelphia. Daniel W. McIntosh, Ben Salem EMS, Ben Salem. Albert J. Miles, Upper Perkiomen Valley Ambulance, Pittsburgh. Jonathan John Richard Myers, East Pennsboro Ambulance, Enola. Harry R. Moore, City of Duquesne EMS, Duquesne. Paul Moyer, Yo Ambulance, York. Michael R. Murphy, Penn Star, Philadelphia. Barry John Nagel, Silver Spring Ambulance and Rescue, New Kingston. Deborah J. Knoll, Guthrie 1 Helicopter, Sayre.
Larry Overly, Alpha Fire Company Community Ambulance, State College. Ken Prunty, Tri-Community Ambulance, Monongahela. Elwood C. Queen Sr., Urbana Volunteer Ambulance Service, Urbana. Robert Reeder, Grozer Keystone EMS, Upland. Patricia A. Riccobono, Lehigh Valley Hospital, Allentown. David Sauer, Leona Ambulance Association, Leona. Heinz Schultz, Emergicare Lifestar of Erie, Erie. William J. Squirrel Jr., Jeanette EMS, Jeanette. Richard Schoaf Jr., Swarthmore Fire Protection Association, Swarthmore.
Matthew C. Snelzer, Ross Driver, West Newton Emergency Medical Services, Bell Vernon. Edward E. Sopper, Hobbs Ambulance, Larraysville. William R. Spence, CJ Systems Aviation Group, West Midland. Ethel M. Spiros, Willow Street Ambulance Association, Willow Street. Richard J. Stark, Thornhurst Volunteer Fire Rescue Ambulance Squad, Thornhurst. Daniel Sweeney, Philadelphia Fire Department, Philadelphia. Brian Terrabori, UPMC Wellsboro, Nicholas A. Theophilus, Penn Hills EMS, Penn Hills. Joseph M. Wagner, Monroeville Fire Department, Monroeville.
Robert Vetter, Mon Valley EMS, Menneson. John M. Watson, Moscow Volunteer Fire Department, Post Company Ambulance, Moscow. Kevin L. Weatherlow, St. Joseph Hospital, Lancaster. Craig Webb, University EMS, Dauphin. Gregory Wenzel, First Aid and Safety Patrol, Lebanon. David A. Womer, Mount Carmel Area Rescue Squad, Mount Carmel. Robert H. Wood, Montrose Minutemen, Montrose. David Young, Central Juniata EMS, Juniata. Robert Bob E. Zerman, Pioneer House Company No. 1, Robizonia. Doug Zima, Northwest EMS, Elizabethtown.
Stand by unless you have an emergency. Audience, the 15th Annual Pennsylvania EMS Memorial Service is currently being held at Heinz Memorial Chapel in Pittsburgh. Bicycle riders who have ridden from Erie to Pittsburgh over the past 3 days in the Pennsylvania EMS Memorial Bike Ride are joined by EMS colleagues from across the Commonwealth, along with family members of Pennsylvania EMS providers who have given the ultimate sacrifice. The 82 fallen Pennsylvania EMS providers have been recognized at this time by having their name read, followed by the ringing of a bell. Although they are gone, they will never be forgotten. Please observe a moment of radio silence in honor of all of the fallen Pennsylvania EMS providers. Thank you. This concludes the moment of silence. Please resume normal radio traffic.
Under guard, attend, but forward. Under guard, face. Right shoulder forward.
We say their names out loud. We tell their stories. We remember their service. We honor their memory. We never forget. 82 names. We read 82 names and rang the bell 82 times. Let us endeavor to go forth today and return next year to read once again only 82 names and ring that bell only 82 times. This concludes our service for today. For the cyclist support team, honored presenters, and honored guard members attending, there's a lunch in the basement of St. Paul's Cathedral immediately following the service. We will meet on the sidewalk behind